Soy titular del programa Micrófono Abierto, un espacio a la diversidad de opiniones, de ideas y de propuestas a la mejora de la propia sociedad hispanoparlante.
Thank you very much.
Es para nuestra sociedad latina y en especial para mí un orgullo entrevistar a uno de los personajes más importantes en las últimas décadas en el mundo entero, ya que a través de sus métodos no violentos ha logrado derrocar dictaduras y convertirlas en democracias, conocido como el padre de las revoluciones no violentas. Me refiero al filósofo, al político, al profesor, al escritor estadounidense, al señor Gene Sharp. Gracias por aceptar esta entrevista, Mr. Sharp.
I go to those days. The honor is mine, and yes, the honor is mine. It's recognized the importance of this capacity of ordinary people to change political systems when it's needed.
Quisiera iniciar esta entrevista, señor Sharp, con el contexto político que hoy en día vive la América Latina, con un quebranto social, una sociedad que no cree en sus gobiernos, que no cree en sus políticas, y sin embargo la propia sociedad, a pesar de miles de movimientos, no han podido derrocar estas dictaduras disfrazadas de democracia. ¿Cómo debemos iniciar acciones que puedan debilitar a estos grupos de poder, señor Sharp?
I think the first step is to stop and think and see what's really happening, because the people have lost confidence in the traditional ways of solving these problems. Where is that confidence now? And they may learn the confidence should have been and should now be in the people themselves to change things, because that is where the real power and power potential lies.
Desde su gran experiencia en movimientos como los de Serbia, Ucrania, Irán, Egipto, Túnez, ¿cómo podríamos aplicar esas mismas estrategias para derrocar gobiernos dictatoriales latinos concentrados en partidos políticos donde el 90% de la población pertenece a uno de ellos?
Yet you people of, in this case, la gente de México, the people of Mexico need to put their attention on how nonviolence, the ordinary power of the people applied with judgment, with careful thinking, can really weaken the rule and apply to use the weapons of nonviolent struggle. Forget the potential of violence. For the moment, set aside the conventional political responses and see how people can use nonviolent struggle and focus on the potential of this technique, a technique of people power. People power has great potential. It's now just coming in to a situation where that can be recognized and really can change things. It can be recognized as capable of changing things.
Uno de los puntos más importantes que quisiera resaltar y que es fundamental en toda su obra es sin duda la planificación y estrategia que se debe implementar en cualquier movimiento que pretenda derrocar una dictadura. En resumen, la improvisación, como usted lo ha definido, es el peor enemigo de cualquier protesta o movimiento. ¿Cuál sería entonces el beneficio de una acción sin planificación?
The potential nonviolent struggle is the basic principles upon which it applied. It means that the capacity of this technique is because it strikes the opponents, the dictatorships, where they are weak. Everybody talks about how powerful and strong and all good existing governments are. And very few people, almost nobody, focuses on where are those regimes weak, where are they able to be undermined. And that is where once you concentrate that. Then now I cannot tell you, do this, do that, and everything will be fine. It says, look at the problem this way, and by looking at it in a new way, where the regime is weak and the people are potentially gravely strong. But sometimes the people don't know how strong they really have the capacity of being. And then then that should open new insights into what to do and how to do it, but how to keep it completely nonviolent. Don't fool around with the people who say you have to use some violence. That is exactly the tools of oppression. It's what the dictators really want you to do, is to focus on violence, because that's where the dictators can always win. If you focus on nonviolence, it's where the people can win, where the people who have great potential. They can learn how to do this, but they must learn it and to do it in a new framework, a new way of thinking. And then they can change their society, and they can do what is beginning to happen in many places. They can do focus on the potential of nonviolent forms of terror, because that's where the people have great power, potential, and when they learn how to use it, then they can have a great impact. And that's what scares a variety of governments. It's not we're trying to destroy governments. It's we're trying to find new ways of protecting regimes and using nonviolent forms of struggle.
En la mayoría de los pueblos, los gobiernos imponen métodos de temor, de manipulación y control sobre los mismos. ¿Cómo lograr superar esa atomización?
How can people in violent wars, how can they overcome their fear? There's every good reason for people to be frightened of participating in violence. And yet it happens all the time. But people can learn, but that's the risk. It may not happen, of course, we hope. But people may not need to be so fearful. But they can overcome that fear because they have a more powerful means of struggle. And every life that's set aside for the moment can be rejected, can be repealed, can be made greater impact by these people are saying, we are not afraid anymore. Every case of nonviolence, it seems almost every case, the people have learned to say, all right, that's the risk. That's what we have to be paid. We might lose our lives, but damn it, it's worth it, because we want to liberate not only ourselves and our brothers and sisters, but also the people of our whole country and the people of other countries. And that it's only with the giving up the fear. We are not afraid anymore. This happens in so many cases, country after country, where people say, well, this is the price of our future victory. This is our price. And our future victory, it's worth it, because that is the tool of liberation. When we cast off the fear of suffering and of death, don't worry, we are going to win.
Para algunos opositores a sus tácticas, sus métodos solo son aplicados a aquellos gobiernos que son opositores al gobierno estadounidense. ¿Qué opina cuando sus críticos hacen estos comentarios?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. Say it again, please. Methods are only applied to the people who are oppressing people. There are governments that do pay attention to the welfare of people and do not oppress them. And those actions and those developments should continue. But the government sees that nonviolence has the potential for liberating people, and that frightens the people who like to be holding the population down.
Para finalizar, el gobierno de Guatemala ha sido derrocado. ¿Será que esta técnica de Guatemala que aplicó sus métodos Señor Shar, ¿se puede aplicar en un México o Venezuela?
I have very no knowledge of the government of Mexico, so I cannot speak with authority. And that's up to the people of Mexico to decide. If they conclude that the government of Mexico is causing great problems on its own, they will have to learn how to use nonviolent struggle in order to achieve their own liberation. But that's not for me to judge or tell them what to do. That's for the people of Mexico to make their own decisions and to do what they think is responsible and important.
Señor Shar, yo le agradezco. Yo he leído todas sus obras. Para mí es un privilegio esta entrevista y en nombre de Radio Latina y Raúl Ventura le agradece este espacio porque gracias a su aprendizaje podemos crear movimientos en México que pueden cambiar el rumbo de nuestro país.
I thank you and your colleagues for wanting to learn more about this potential. Not to think you can adopt this in 5 minutes and then you don't have to think anymore, but to recognize that this begins where you start thinking and begin to learn how you can make your action, the people's sacrifices, skillfully effective because you thought through what you're doing. You can't have somebody tell you what to do and then you do it and boom, 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 everything's executed. You have to learn how to apply your own potential in facing the reality of what is the present story in your country, and then learn how to act before you start acting, and then act skillfully, just as you would in a military or violent struggle. But in the non-violent struggle, you have to act very, very skillfully, and then you have the potential of winning. Thank you very much, Joe, all of you, and suerte.
Gracias. Thank you very much, Mr. Shar.
Thank you. You guys have to say.